I am recording this on May 1st. Summer is coming up fast. And my question for you today is, do you have a plan for your summer? Hi, I'm Kathleen Lawson, and I am a business strategist. I work with female entrepreneurs, helping them put the strategy, structure, and routines in place so they can execute on their big goals. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our tips. So, this is something that I have been talking about for a few years because what I was finding is that a lot of small business owners would just sort of run right into the summer without being really intentional about what they wanted to get done over the summer. So, they were treating their summer business months the same as they were treating all the other months of the year, but the reality is that they weren't working the same. They were either taking time off, with their kids or, other things. And then they get to the end of the summer and they found that they weren't hitting their goals. They were discouraged, a little depressed about it. Then they kind of start the fall in a funk. And so, what I say is that you need to be intentional about your summer and what you want to get done. And it's totally okay if you want to scale back your goals and your plans for the summer because you want to take more time personally. You just want to be intentional about it. You want the way you want to work over the summer and the goals that you want to pursue to match up. You want them to be realistic so that by the end of the summer you can be happy about it and go, look, I finished what I wanted to finish. I got it, I hit my goals. I feel good. And now we're ahead, kids are going back to school, or, we're coming back from the beach, and now we're heading into the fall, and, we're excited for a great fall season. So we want to be intentional. So I want to talk today about some high level pieces of putting together your summer plan. And we want to start with your vision for the summer. What do you want your summer to look like? So maybe you are going to work head down, full speed ahead, and that's totally fine if that's what you want to do. Maybe you've got kids and you want to work, but you also want to have a little time every day to do things with them. Maybe you don't have kids, but summer is a really important time to you. Maybe you live near the beach or on a lake, or you've got a great pool and you like to have a little extra you time in the summer for whatever it is you want to do. So you want to think about how you want your summer to go. And you know what? Don't be afraid to make whatever decisions you want, because you only get so many summers. And if you have kids, you only, have this summer with them at this age. So, decide what you want to do, and do it. Like you've got the permission. If you're looking for permission, you got it. So decide what you want that to look like. So that's where we start with our vision. And part of that, one of the things I love to do is create a summer bucket list. And I always have done this with my kids. My youngest is actually graduating high school this year, and we still do the summer bucket list together. So vacations, day trips, restaurants you want to try, the concerts you want to go to, all the summer things that you want to do. Make a list. And if your kids are little, I love putting that list on the fridge so that, everyone can kind of stay excited about all the things that you want to do over the summer. So create your summer bucket list. And then we want to think about what are our summer goals. And as I was saying, they can be whatever you want. Maybe you are full steam ahead and you've got big sales goals and you've got projects you're pursuing. Or maybe you're just focusing on sales and holding any additional projects. You're finishing things up in May and then not starting anything big until the fall. That's fine too. Or maybe you're even scaling back. Maybe you don't want to sell as much. You don't want to serve as many clients. Maybe you want to really go a lot lighter and have time to do all the other things. Whichever one you want is totally fine. What we want is for you to decide and be really intentional about what you want it to look like. So we want to set those summer goals. And then once we know what we're doing, then we can think about our summer hours. When are we going to actually work? And, taking all of that into account, the goals you've set, things you want to do, whether you have kids and, you're driving to camp or whatever it might be. I know that when my kids were younger, that would really determine when I was working. It was great when they got kind of into the teenage years and they would sleep half the day. So I could get a lot of work done the first chunk of the day before they were even coming out of their room. So those were great years. So, you decide what those hours are going to look like. And then you make your plan. So you've got your goals, you know what you're trying to get done, and you can create that plan. Take any of those bigger chunks, break them down into action items so that you know what it is that you need to accomplish throughout the weeks over the summer. Also, you're blocking out days that you're doing things, but get that plan in an executable form so that you are not wasting. This is not the time of year you want to waste any time. You want to have that plan down so that you can execute on it every week. Make sure that you're accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish without wasting a lot of time kind of spiraling around. What should I be doing? Have that set so that you can do the things and then enjoy the rest of the time, while you've got nice weather and you've got all the things, all the summer things going on. Also, you might need to adjust client expectations. If you are changing your schedule or your availability, do you need to communicate anything like that with your clients? So, think about that. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's nothing that they're going to see from their end. But if there is, I would communicate that. Like maybe you're only going to work 3 days a week over the summer. So you might have to let them know, hey, I'm not going to be available on Mondays and Fridays during the summer. It might be as simple as that. But if there's something more, then you can definitely let them know that. And then finally, what about accountability? Do you want to have some sort of accountability built in over the summer if you don't have an ongoing accountability? So maybe you've got a business friend, a business bestie, a coach, somebody that you work with that you can share your goals, what you're trying to accomplish, and report back to them as you go along. Accountability works. So think about that, adding that to the plan. So I'd love to hear about your summer plan. What do you have in mind for the summer? Let me know down in the comments.